From ghostly World War II relics to fish-infested artificial reefs, these shipwrecks are the ultimate playgrounds for divers. Whether you're looking for a history lesson, some eerie swim-throughs, or just some incredible marine life encounters, these wrecks have it all. And one of the best parts? You don't even need to be a technical diver to reach them. Welcome to Dan Europe. My name is Nico Luro. Thank you as always for joining us right here on the channel. Be sure to subscribe if it's your first time joining us here and hit that notification bell so you never miss a future top 10 video. And today I'm counting down my personal picks for the top 10 wreck dives around the world that you can dive within recreational limits, which I'm defining obviously as 40 meters or shallower. Number 10, the Faroud in Malta. Starting off our list is an oil tanker with a second life as one of Malta's most impressive artificial reefs. The Faroud was sunk in 1998 after an onboard explosion ended its service, and now it's a diver's dream, with huge open swim-throughs and a hauntingly intact superstructure. Schools of barracuda and groupers have claimed it as home, and the crystal clear waters make for some seriously cinematic underwater shots. If wreck penetration is your thing, this is the spot in the Mediterranean to explore. Number 9, Kittiwake in Cayman Islands. At number 9, we've got a wreck that proves not all sunken ships have tragic origins. The Kittiwake was a US Navy rescue vessel that spent its career retrieving downed aircraft before being intentionally sunk off Grand Cayman in 2011 to create an artificial reef. Today, it's a diver-friendly playground with easy entry points, air pockets, and even an old decompression chamber still intact. With vibrant coral growth and resident sea turtles, it's one of the most accessible and beginner-friendly wreck dives out there. Number 8, Hilma in Bonaire. A ship with a shady past, Hilma was not your average cargo vessel. It was actually seized for smuggling thousands of pounds of, you guessed it, marijuana. After sitting in legal limbo, the ship mysteriously sank in 1984, and now it's one of Bonaire's most famous dive sites. Lying perfectly on its side, this wreck is easy to navigate and packed with moray eels, tarpon, and vibrant coral. Just be careful. It's said that if you listen closely, you can still hear the ghosts of smugglers whispering. Number 7, Zenobia in Cyprus. When a fully loaded cargo ferry sinks on its maiden voyage, you know there's a story to tell. The Zenobia was carrying over 100 trucks when it went down, and those vehicles are still inside, eerily lined up like they're waiting for their next delivery. At a depth of just 16 meters at its shallowest point, it's a wreck that divers of all levels can explore. Expect to see massive groupers, barracudas, and if you're lucky, even curious sea turtles checking out the wreck alongside you. If you're into Titanic-style disaster stories, this one's for you. Number 6, RMS Rhone, British Virgin Islands. The RMS Rhone was a British mail steamer that met its watery fate in an 1867 hurricane, and it's been thrilling divers ever since. Split into 2 sections across a colourful coral reef, this wreck offers dramatic swim-throughs, including the famous Lucky Porthole that divers rub for good fortune. Plus, the warm Caribbean waters mean you can take your time exploring water without worrying about getting cold. With everything from eagle rays to reef sharks gliding by, this one is a true wreck diving classic. Before we continue, if you are a diver and you're planning on diving any of these wrecks or going on any type of diving for that matter, it is of course recommended that you maintain proper safety. And I'm not just talking about staying within a buddy team or following a dive plan. No, what I'm talking about is making sure that you have the most comprehensive insurance available to you so that in the very unlikely event that something does go wrong, you're not left with hundreds of thousands of pounds or dollars to pay for a hyperbaric chamber or a helicopter evacuation. Doesn't matter. With the peace of mind that a Dan Europe insurance can bring you, which you can find at the link in the description below. It doesn't matter where you're diving, you can just enjoy the dive and not worry about what happens again. In the unlikely event that something goes wrong, you're fully covered. And with that, on to number 5. Number 5, Fujikawa Maru, Micronesia. Welcome to Truck Lagoon, the ultimate graveyard of World War II shipwrecks. The Fujikawa Maru was a Japanese transport ship bombed in 1944, and now it's one of the most legendary dives in the Pacific. What makes it truly special? The fully intact fighter planes still inside the cargo hold. You can swim right up to them like a scene straight out of an underwater war movie. Add in stunning coral growth and reef sharks patrolling the wreck, and you've got one of the most photogenic wrecks on the planet. Number 4, SS Yongala, Australia. This one's less of a shipwreck and more of an underwater zoo. The SS Yongala is one of the most marine life pack wrecks on Earth. This 1903 passenger ship was sunk in a cyclone in 1911, and since then it's become a paradise for sea snakes, giant groupers, manta rays, and even the occasional bull shark. Unlike most wrecks, this one's completely off limits for penetration, so it's all about the marine life spectacle. If you want to feel like you've dropped straight into an episode of Blue Planet, this is the wreck for you. Number 3, USAT Liberty in Bali. This might be the easiest world-class wreck you'll ever do. Sitting just off the shore of Tulamben, the USAT Liberty is a World War II transport ship torpedoed by a Japanese submarine. Unlike most wrecks, you don't need a boat to reach it. Just walk in from the beach and start exploring. Over the years, the ship has been completely overtaken by coral and marine life, making it a favorite among photographers. Look out for pygmy seahorses, turtles, and schools of jacks swirling around the structure. And did we mention it's right next to an active volcano? No big deal. Number 2, SS Thistlegorm, Egypt. For many, this will be their number 1. The SS Thistlegorm is basically an underwater time capsule from World War II. The British cargo ship was bombed by German aircraft in 1941, and when you dive it today, it's like stepping back in time. Jeeps, motorcycles, rifles, everything is still inside. But what really makes this wreck a must-dive is the sheer size of it. At over 125 meters long, it's an absolute beast of a dive. It's got history, marine life, and a sense of eerie mystery that makes it unforgettable. Number 1, SS President Coolidge, Vanuatu. Taking the number 1 spot is none other than the SS President Coolidge, a wreck so massive it's basically an underwater museum. Originally a luxury ocean liner, the Coolidge was converted into a troop transport during World War II. But in 1942, it struck friendly mines just off the coast of Vanuatu and sank, thankfully with almost all soldiers making it safely to shore. Now this isn't just a wreck, it's the wreck. At over 200 meters long, the Coolidge is one of the biggest and most intact shipwrecks you can dive within recreational limits. And because it sank right next to the shore, you can start your descent just a few fin kicks from the beach. What makes this wreck legendary? Well, aside from the eerie cargo holds filled with military supplies, the grand staircase and the intact cannons, there's one dive site that stands out, the Lady. This hauntingly beautiful ceramic relief of a woman and a unicorn is one of the most famous underwater artifacts in the world. Add in the sheer size, epic penetration dives, and the insane amount of marine life, from massive barracudas to sea turtles, and you've got a wreck dive that's both historic and absolutely thrilling. It's the ultimate wreck for recreational divers, and that's why it takes my number 1 spot. So those are my choices for the top 10 wreck dives that you can dive within recreational limits. Have you dived any of these? If so, which ones? Let me know in the comments down below. And equally, of the wrecks I've mentioned, are there any that have now piqued your interest and you're now thinking, oh yeah, gotta go over there and dive that? Again, let me know down below. And once again, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and tickle that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video or indeed a new top 10 featuring yours truly goes up on the channel. Thank you as always for joining us right here on the Dan Europe YouTube channel. Get out there, do some diving, and let me know what you've been up to in the comment section. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.